Hey everyone, Courtney McKenzie Newell here, CEO of Crowns Marketing and Communications. And today we're talking about one of my favorite topics, something that I love oh so much, and that is executive branding. Now, whether you're someone within a corporation who is trying to rise and increase your position within an organization, or whether you are someone who is already running your own business or looking to build your own business, branding is very important. So one thing that you want to make sure that you're doing, and hold on one quick second, we're having a little functionality issue with our LinkedIn. So just give me 1 second. All right, perfect. Is that you want to make sure that whether you are trying to elevate your position or whether you're someone who is already in an organization or already working on your branding, it's super important to get clear on your messaging. So when we're talking about messaging, one thing that is really important is making sure that you have that clarity, because you can't go to market with a ton of different messages. And we've talked about this before in previous episodes, but one thing that I see that causes a lot of confusion and really hinders people from becoming that go-to expert in their space is that there isn't enough clarity in what their messaging is, and there isn't enough consistency and continuity in what they're actually publishing. So I will tell you, as someone who's pitching media literally every single day for our clients, the first thing that every journalist is going to do is they're going to Google, right? They're going to Google and see what your brand is all about, if you are actually someone who is credible, and if you are someone who should be featured on their media outlet. So you really want to make sure that you have a consistent brand messaging, you have really nice headshots, your website looks professional. And here's the thing, even if you don't have a $5,000, 10-page website or whatever, it's super important to make sure that you at least have a very professional looking landing page. And you can use tools like Lead Pages, Kajabi. There's like literally a million of them. You can use a simple WordPress one-page site as well. But you want to make sure that you have somewhere that people can go to learn more about you that's outside of your Facebook page or outside of your Instagram. You want to really have a hub for that. All right, so now let's get into why it's so important for you to elevate your brand in 2021, especially around executive branding. First and foremost, it allows you to reach new audiences. One thing whether you are an executive or an entrepreneur, it's really important to make sure that you're constantly reaching new audiences. So when it comes to reaching new audiences, I really want you to think about the target medias that would be ideal for you to really elevate your brand. Now, if you're someone who's an executive, this could mean trade association. So let's say you're someone in supplier diversity, then you want to make sure that you're targeting those outlets that you can leverage to elevate your thought leadership position. If you're someone who is in construction, same. Look at industry associations that you can really elevate your brand. If you're an entrepreneur, you want to make sure that you're targeting outlets that have your dream clients in them. So if you're a health and wellness coach, you want to go to health.com. You want to go to different outlets like that you can really position yourself to get in front of your target demographic. Number two is you want to become the recognized industry expert. Now, one thing that we work with and we love to do for our clients is to make sure that they're elevated in their branding, and so that they're picked for media outlet features and they're also picked for top speaking engagements. It's really important to make sure, no matter what market you're in, no matter what industry you're in, one thing is true. There are always going to be those people who are the thought leaders, who are the people who are regularly featured. They're always going to be the ones who get the first call when there's breaking news in the industry for their expert commentary. And I will tell you, it's not something that happens just by chance. It's something that they actually make a very concentrated effort in making sure that they build that thought leadership. So some really simple, easy ways to do this are to start creating videos. You can do white papers. You can do webinars, trainings. You can do roundtables. There are so many different ways. You can write books. You can have a podcast. So these are all simple ways that you can get started with really elevating and building your thought leadership so that you become the recognized expert in your space. The third reason why it's so important is because you get to educate and engage people. one of the best things that happens when you start to really put yourself out there and elevate your brand as an executive is that you get to educate people on your specific areas of expertise, the way that you do things, your methodology, your processes, all those great things. And then you're also engaging with people, whether they be your target customers, your colleagues. All of those people are really going to start coming to you to engage with your content, whether they share it, whether they comment, whether they like it. And even if they watch it and you never hear from them, that still is a way for them to engage with your brand. So you want to make sure that you make this a focus. And one thing I'll say about this is when it comes to your brand, I said this in my book, Future Proof, marketing is really all about person-to-person interaction. You've heard that saying a million times. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. Well, they really have to get to know you. And regardless of what space you're in, it all comes down to people feeling like they know you, you're personable, you're their friend, you're someone who they can trust. And the way that you do that is by getting to show your personality, right? One great way to do that, and one of my favorite ways, is to go on podcasts, get featured on podcasts, create your own podcast, and create your own content. So I really want you to think about how you can tie these into your branding in 2021 or your marketing strategy. And last but not least, 4 is it leads to more opportunities, whether that be promotions, more clients, speaking engagements, paid book opportunities, and so many more. I mean, it really truly is limitless. And I will say, especially for executives, because with entrepreneurs, typically, I see entrepreneurs building their brands every day, but I don't see it happening as much with executives. And the reason why it's so important for executives is because when you're in a corporation, you really want to make sure that you elevate your brand outside of that position that you have. 1, it makes you more in demand for other opportunities outside of that organization. And 2, it really brings more recognition to your role at the position and at the company that you're at, which just makes you that much more irreplaceable in your organization. So I hope you can take these tips and implement them right away. But if you're someone who's like, Courtney, I'm busy, I don't have time for this, I know it's important, but I don't have time, here are some of the ways that we do this for our clients. So one of the best ways that we do this is by creating content for them. So we have our process where we get the information from our clients and we create their white papers, we create their speaking engagements, we create their topics, we create experiences, whether that be one-on-one, in person, online, and we do all these different things for them so that they can really elevate their thought leadership. We also do media placement too, which is probably one of my favorite, where we come up with the story angles and we present them to the media outlets and the conferences and events so that they are the go-to expert and they're picked for those speaking engagements. Because again, it doesn't just happen by chance. It has to be a concerted effort. And then lastly, we also help our clients with book writing and podcast production. So if any of those sound like something that you're interested in, definitely reach out. But in the meantime, I've given you some expert tips so that you can take this information and run with it, okay? So if you haven't already, make sure that you're focusing on building your executive brand in 2021. It's truly going to be the way that you elevate your expertise, and it's going to lead to more opportunities, whether that be in promotions, whether that be in more clients, or whether that be in media engagements and media opportunities for you, speaking engagements. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.